Okay, year 8, here's our second lesson. How are you today? I hope you're having a relaxing time at home and you're not too worried about the current crisis. I'm going to be giving you great lessons to keep up with your mathematics. And let's start with our next lesson, which is today. Now I'm just going to recap the previous lesson because I did a fair bit in that one lesson, and I just want to recap the main ideas and give you a couple of quiz questions. Let's see how you go. Alright, now this is our heading, converting between percentages, fractions and decimals. This is what we did last lesson. Now as a recap, percent means out of 100. Okay? That's what it means. It means out of 100. So 3% means 3 out of 100. Or we could write this as 3 divided by 100. Okay? Now, if you want your percentage as a fraction, you write it like this. And if you want to work out your percentage as a decimal, you use the divide by button on your calculator to do that. Or you can mentally work out divide by 100 means to go left 2 places with the decimal point. Okay, now the good thing about this is this tells us how to go from percentages to a fraction or decimal or back the other way. So let's have a look. To go from a percentage to a fraction, right, or decimal, right, you put it over 100 or divide by 100. So everything I'm writing down I want you to copy into your exercise book so you've got a record of the notes. Now if that way is dividing by 100, then going back the other way is multiplying by 100. Okay? So to go from a percentage to a fraction or decimal, put it over 100 or divide by 100. And to go from a fraction or decimal back the other way to get a percentage, you times by 100. Now last lesson I wrote that diagram down in the other way, so we could write the diagram like this. I could start with fraction or decimal first. Right, I could put the arrow to this way, to a percentage. And now, if we're going to write it the other way, fraction and decimal to percentage is times 100. And to go back the other way is over 100 or divide by 100. Now, both these diagrams will do the same thing for you, just follow the arrows. I tend to use this one more often, but it's up to you, I don't mind which one you use. But just follow the arrows that will tell you what to do. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is to write these questions down in your book, and I want you to pause the video and have a go at those questions to see if you get them right. You will need your calculator probably for this one here, but pause, copy, do the questions, then play the video and see if you got them right. Okay, here we go. Let's see how you went. Now, 17 over 28, I want to convert this to a percentage, change to a percentage. So I'll go to my picture here. I've got a fraction, and it says to go to a percentage times by 100. So I'm just going to go 17 over 20 times by 100. Put that into your calculator, like I showed you last lesson. You'll get 85 on the calculator, but you'll need to put a percentage there. Okay? You need to put a percentage there. Okay, what about this one here? Same thing. Decimal to percentage times by 100. So you're going to go equals 0.283 times by 100. Now you could use your calculator, nothing wrong with that. But if timesing by 100, you move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So with or without your calculator, you should get 28.3. Now your calculator does not put the percent sign, you have to do that yourself. Rightio, good to go. Now, question 2 says change to a fraction and decimal. Right, change to a fraction and decimal. So we go to my picture over here. I'm going from a percentage to a fraction or a decimal. So percentage, that's this way. Follow the arrows there. Now, first, let's do this one. 18% over 100. That's what it says to do from the picture. 18 over 100, which equals, right, if you put that into your calculator and simplify, what will you get? You'll get 9 over 50. Okay, now what about as a decimal? What would you do? As a decimal, I would go 18 divided by 100, which as a decimal, if I move the decimal point 2 places to the left, 1, 2, or on the calculator, 0.18. So there's my answer as a decimal, and there's my answer as a fraction. Okay, how did you go? Now, what about this one? I will need my calculator for this. So I'll just get my calculator out. Here we go. Now, let me have a look at this. 38.25%. I want to convert this to a fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 38.25 over 100. Okay, now, this is to enter this into your calculator. What are you going to do? I'll come over here for a minute. You are going to press your fraction button on your calculator. It looks like this. So you press that. Then you're going to press Shift, and you're going to press the mixed numeral button. Okay? That is just above your fraction button. Okay? And essentially you're pressing the same button. Okay? Then you're going to put your 38.25 in, and then over 100. Okay? So I'm going to do that now. So, bear with me. Fraction button. Shift. Fraction button. 38. I'm going to use the blue center key to navigate to the boxes. Over 100 equals. Calculator tells me 153 on 400. Okay, 153 on 400. Now, for those of you who want a challenge, see if you can figure out how to do that without a calculator. I showed you last lesson. You might need to watch the video. Now, what about converting this to a decimal? Well, to convert a percentage to a decimal, I'm going to divide by 100, okay? So let's do that. So, actually I could just take my answer here and press the SD key. But I'm going to go from scratch. Fraction. Shift. Fraction button again. 38.25 over 100 equals... no, sorry, that's wrong. To convert that to a decimal, I'm going to do this, of course. I'm going to go 38.25 divide by 100. That's what I'm going to do. So just press, to enter this one, press Shift and your fraction button. So Shift, fraction button, enter 38.25, divide by 100. Oh, your calculator gave you a fraction as an answer. There's a special button you press to switch between fraction and decimal. It is the SD key. So press the SD key. It's just above the two orange keys on the calculator. SD. You should get 0.3825. Okay, how did you go? Let's start the new content for today. So a new heading. So I'm going to rub this out. Make sure you copy all of that down. Alright, new heading. So, I've got to say, it's a little bit boring doing this all by myself. It's much better to have you guys here to entertain me. Now, we're going to write down a new heading. It's called fraction. So write this down. Fraction and percentage of a quantity. Okay. There you go. That's your heading. Write it down. Okay. Now, in mathematics, of means multiply. Okay, so of means multiply. So let's have a look at the first question. Number 1, find 1/5 multiplied by 45. Okay, 1/5 times 45. What has this got to do with percentages? You will see coming up. This is a bit of an introduction to help you up with the skill for this exercise. Okay, so 1/5, well actually I'll change that. 1/5 of 45. Let's get that correct. Now 1/5 of 45, that means 1/5 times 45. Okay? And 45 is the same as 45 over 1. Okay? Now, 1 multiplied by 45 is 45. 5 times 1 is 5. Now, in year 8 you get to use your calculator. You're allowed to do this whole thing on your calculator. Okay? You should get 9 for that. Alright, next question. I want you to try this one by yourself. Okay, so you can pause the video and have a go at this one. Find 7/8 of $32. 7/8 of $32. What do you get? Right, pause the video, have a go. Right, that's what we're going to work out. I'm going to write that as 32 over 1. Now, do you know what 7 times 32 is? Okay, off the top of your head, probably no. You can put the whole thing into your calculator now if you want to get the answer, but I'm going to show you how to do it without the calculator. 8 and 32, numerator and denominator. What do? You find a number which goes into 8 and 32, hopefully the biggest number possible, called the highest common factor. 8 goes into 32 and 8 goes into 8. 8 goes in there once and there 4 times. 7 times 4 is 28. 1 times 1 is 1, so it's just 28, and don't forget to put your dollars. Okay? Now, that's the non-calculator way. You can put the whole thing into your calculator to get 28 if you wanted to. Alright, let's move on. Okay, so what about this one, number 3? This will be 1/3 of 1 year. So I should have put the word find. Find there. Find. Okay. Now 1/3 of 1 year. Well, they should say what they want this in. I'll put down find 1/3 of 1 year in months. Okay. So that will be 1/3 of means times, okay? Of means times 1 year, that's 12 months. Okay, now 12 is the same as 12 over 1. 1 times 12 is 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4 months. There we go. That's your answer. Okay. Let's try the next one. Okay, try this one by yourself. Find 4/5 of 2 kilograms in grams. Okay, copy that down, have a go, pause the video, and then check your answer with me. Okay, so 4/5 times 2,000 grams, because 2 kilograms is 2,000 grams, over 1. Alright, now if you're going to use your calculator, just put the whole thing into your calculator there. But I'm not going to use my calculator, I'm just going to put that over 1. 5's into 20,000. Okay, that's going to be 400 there. So you get 1,600 grams. But again, if you just want to use the calculator, just go 4/5 times 2,000 and you'll get 1,600 grams. Okay? Alright, now let's try some examples with percentages. This will be number 6. Okay, so find 8. Now I will use my calculator for these because that's what you'll be doing as well. 8% of $400. Okay, that's your first question. Well, 8%, that is 8 over 100. Of means times, and then 400. Get your calculator out, let's have work it out. Okay, fraction button. 8 over 400. Sorry, that's wrong. 100. 100 times 400 equals 32. Okay, 32 there. Rightio. Now, next question. You're going to try this by yourself and you are going to pause the video to have a go. Alright, so question number 7. Here we go. Question number 7. Okay. Find 12.5% of 1 hour in minutes. Okay. Alright, 12.5% of 1 hour in minutes. Pause the video, have a go at this question. Rightio. Now, 12.5% of, now 1 hour is 60 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to convert the hours to minutes first. Okay, and 12.5% is 12 over 100. Of means times. Now I'm just going to use 60 here. Right, get your calculator out. Here we go. Fraction button. 12.5 over 100 times 60 equals 7.5. And that should be minutes. Okay? Alright? Alright, next one. Last one for today. Number 8. Alright, 20%. So find 20% of 3 meters in centimeters. Okay, that is an N there. Okay, pause the video, have a go. Alright, now, what do we have here? I'm going to find 20% of, well, I've got to have centimetres here. So how many metres in a centimetre? 100, 300 centimetres, there we go. Alright, so 20 over 100, that's what percent means, over 100. Of means times, and then 300. Right, put that whole thing into your calculator. You should get 60, and then centimetres. Alright, how would you do without a calculator? I wonder. Okay, without a calculator I would do this, over 1. And then I would go, 100 goes into 300 3 times. Okay? And then 20 times 3 is 60. 1 times 1 is 1, so 60 over 1 is 60. There we go. Alright, so what I'd like you guys to do is, for homework, from your textbook, 605. Right? I want you to do every second problem. You know what that means? 1, A, C, E, 2. Well, 2 is multiple choice. Then 3, A, C, E. And you keep going, right? You do every second problem and see how you go with those. Alright? Look forward to our next lesson.